we've had such an amazing journey together, and everybody's seen your transformation. I wanted to highlight something that, I'm not even sure that you realize that you have. And so many people that are listening to this podcast are suffering from something called metabolic syndrome. And it's a combination of symptoms, all 5 of which you had. If you have any 2 of these 5, you're at very high risk for cardiovascular disease. Metabolic syndrome is the leading cause of cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease is a leading killer in the world. And the inspiring thing is that you went from having 5 of these 5 markers to having none of these 5 markers. And talking about the journey that we've been on together and what a day in the life was, like for Dana White before we met.
Well, my life is exactly the same now as it was, a year and a half ago before I met you, except for the fact that I feel incredible every day. I'm way more productive. When you said, give me 10 weeks, by the time I was in 10, 11, 12 weeks, whatever it was, I started to feel like I was in my 30s again. And no bullshit, I feel like I'm in my 20s now. I swear to God, I do.
Say that.
I quit drinking in January. So now I don't drink. I'm doing the Superhuman protocol. I'm on the whole program that you have me on. And I tell everybody, I try to tell as many people as possible how incredible this is and that everything can be turned around. You just need guidance and you need to know how to do it.
Yeah.
And you're the guy.
Just go over some numbers because, the one thing that I really love about you is you're just wide open. We put your labs up on Instagram before. We've been very open about where you started and where you were. But these 5 markers for metabolic disease, they start with triglycerides, blood fat. Your triglycerides fell from 800 to 130. The second marker is insulin, hyperinsulinemia. Your insulin went from in the 60s to 9. The third marker is abdominal obesity. Dude, you got a 6-pack set of abs, so we don't have to worry about abdominal obesity anymore. And your weight, where did your weight go from? Yeah,
I was 236, and I fluctuate anywhere now between 192 and 196, depending on the day.
That's incredible. And blood pressure, I went back, pulled your records. The day that we met was 160 over 110. And at that time, you were on blood pressure medication.
Blood pressure, cholesterol, and thyroid meds.
Yeah, none of which you're on now. And your last blood pressure reading was 116 over 70. And the reason why I throw those numbers out, and I love that you're so open about it, is because there's people listening to this right now, and this silent killer is lurking in their body, right? Because you don't have to have abdominal obesity. That's only one of the 5. But if you have any 2 of those other 5 markers that I talked about, you have metabolic syndrome. And this killer is lurking in your body. And you should be talking to your doctor about metabolic syndrome, and if your doctor doesn't know what it is, you should fire your doctor. Did your circle of doctors, what were they telling you? Because clearly your labs were telling a story.
Yeah, they weren't telling me enough. I would keep doing blood work, and they were telling me everything was fine when I knew everything wasn't fine. I didn't feel fine. I didn't feel good at all. My legs, I could barely move my legs, and my legs were, I felt pain to the touch anywhere on my legs. My legs were numb and tingly.
You got a lot of massages and things like that.
I used to get massages, get stretched out all the time. Never helped, never worked. It was just very painful. I couldn't sleep. I had sleep apnea so bad that almost every night I would wake up choking and throwing up. Almost every night. I would throw up so much that I was starting to lose my voice a lot. For days I would have no voice. And the list just goes on and on of all the problems. And the doctors could not fix anything. All they would do is keep putting me on more pills or changing my pills that I was on. It was just, they never fixed anything.
Yeah. And what was your inner circle like? Were people chirping in your ear about it? Like, hey, Dana, we got to go to work on this. Or you're falling asleep in meetings.
I was falling asleep in meetings. I had no energy. My cognitive was horrible. I would forget everything. It's just, I'm not the same person I was a year and a half ago, not even remotely close to being the same person that I was. And, when we talk about this stuff, and this will go up on the internet and this will pop up, there will be people on here, you're getting scammed, this is bullshit, this is whatever.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Listen to me. I would not waste my time trying to scam somebody. I make $0 out of this thing.
Nothing.
I get nothing out of this, okay? Yeah. Other than what I have going on in my life. And the reason that I do this and the reason that I let you talk about my numbers don't lie.
Right.
People can lose weight. I lost weight before I met Gary Brecka.
Right.
Lost weight, put weight on, I did all that shit. What I didn't do was feel amazing. I didn't feel like I'm in my 20s again. My workouts are off the charts. Every day when I wake up, I feel incredible. All of my symptoms are gone. Snoring. I mean, forget about all the other stuff. Let's say you don't have high blood pressure, you don't got cholesterol, you don't got all this other stuff. How about your snoring? How about sleep apnea? Gary made that go away. Go see your doctor and see what your doctor tells you. Your doctor is going to put you on a CPAP machine that you strap to your face and you try to sleep all night while oxygen and water are blowing up your nose. It's ridiculous. You can't sleep. They either want to put you on pills or they want to sell you something else. I'm off all this stuff. I've never felt better in my life, and this is why I do this.
Yeah, no, and I can't appreciate it more. And this is like a message that really needs to get out there. I mean, the number one leading risk factor for cardiovascular disease, the number one killer in the world, cardiovascular disease kills more people than morbid obesity, diabetes, and cancer combined. And it is preventable. And it is metabolic syndrome is reversible.